Today our topic is how to deal with change the Stoic way. Life is full of changes. Some changes are small, like the weather or the food you eat. Some changes are big, like moving to a new city, losing a job, or losing someone you love. Change can be scary because it is unknown. We often fear what we do not understand. But change is also a natural part of life. Nothing stays the same forever. The Stoics, ancient philosophers, had a lot to say about how to deal with change. They believed that change is not something to fear, but something to accept. They taught that the way we think about change can either make us suffer or make us stronger. Let's explore how Stoicism can help us deal with change in a calm and wise way. First, the Stoics remind us that change is not in our control. Most things in life are not in our control. We cannot control the weather, other people's actions, or the passage of time. What we can control is how we respond to these things. This is a key idea in Stoicism. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot control. When change happens, ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, then the best thing to do is accept it. Acceptance does not mean you have to like the change. It just means you stop fighting against it. Fighting against things you cannot control only brings pain. Acceptance brings peace. For example, imagine you lose your job. This is a big change and it can feel very scary. You might feel angry, sad, or worried about the future. These feelings are normal. But the Stoics would say, yes, losing your job is hard, but you cannot change what has already happened. What you can control is how you respond. You can look for a new job, learn new skills, or use this time to reflect on what you really want in life. By focusing on what you can control, you take back your power. You stop being a victim of change and become the creator of your own life. Another Stoic idea is to see change as an opportunity for growth. Change often forces us to step out of our comfort zone. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also where growth happens. Think of a tree. When the wind blows, the tree bends. If it did not bend, it would break. The tree grows stronger by learning to adapt to the wind. In the same way, we grow stronger by adapting to change. Every challenge we face is an opportunity to become wiser, kinder, or more resilient. The Stoics believe that obstacles are not things that block us, but things that show us a new path. When change happens, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? For example, let's say you move to a new city where you don't know anyone. At first, this might feel lonely and difficult. But instead of focusing on what you've lost, you can focus on what you've gained. You have the chance to meet new people, explore new places, and learn new things about yourself. You might discover strengths you didn't know you had. Change pushes us to grow, even when it feels uncomfortable. The Stoics also teach us to practice gratitude, even in difficult times. Gratitude means being thankful for what you have. When change happens, it's easy to focus on what we've lost or what we don't have. But the Stoics remind us that there is always something to be grateful for. Even in the darkest times, there's light if you look for it. Practicing gratitude helps us see the good in life and keeps us from being overwhelmed by negativity. For example, if you get sick, it's easy to feel sorry for yourself. But the Stoics would say, yes, being sick is hard, but you can still be thankful for the people who care for you, the medicine that helps you heal, or the rest that your body needs. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain, but it helps us see that life is still worth living. It reminds us that even in the midst of change, there is still beauty and goodness. Another important Stoic lesson is to live in the present moment. Change often makes us worry about the future or regret the past. But the Stoics remind us that the only moment we truly have is now. The past is gone, and the future is not guaranteed. Worrying about what might happen or regretting what has already happened only takes away from the joy of the present. When change happens, try to focus on what you can do right now. Take one step at a time. This helps you stay grounded and reduces anxiety. For example, if you are going through a divorce, it's easy to worry about how you will manage alone or regret the mistakes you made in the relationship. But the Stoics would say, focus on today. What can you do today to take care of yourself? Can you spend time with a friend, go for a walk, or do something you enjoy? By focusing on the present, you give yourself a break from the weight of the past and the uncertainty of the future. The Stoics also remind us that change is a reminder of impermanence. Nothing lasts forever. This might sound sad, but it can also be freeing. When we accept that everything is temporary, we learn to appreciate what we have while we have it. We stop taking things for granted. We learn to let go of things when it's time to let go. This doesn't mean we don't feel sadness or loss. It just means we don't cling to things that are meant to change. For example, if you have a child who is growing up, you might feel sad that they are no longer a baby. But the Stoics would say, yes, it's sad, but it's also beautiful. You have the chance to see them grow into a unique person. Enjoy each stage while it lasts. By accepting impermanence, we learn to live with open hands, holding things lightly so we can let go when the time comes. Finally, the Stoics teach us to see ourselves as part of something bigger. Change often feels personal, like it's happening only to us. But the Stoics remind us that we are part of the universe, and the universe is always changing. Just as the seasons change, so do our lives. When we see ourselves as part of this bigger picture, we feel less alone. We realize that everyone goes through change, and we are all connected by this shared experience. This helps us feel more at peace with the ups and downs of life. For example, if you lose someone you love, it can feel like the world has ended. But the Stoics would say, death is a natural part of life. It happens to everyone. You are not alone in your grief. This doesn't take away the pain, but it helps us feel less isolated. It reminds us that life is bigger than our individual struggles. In conclusion, dealing with change the Stoic way means accepting what we cannot control, seeing change as an opportunity for growth, practicing gratitude, living in the present, embracing impermanence, and seeing ourselves as part of something bigger. Change will always be a part of life, but we don't have to. By following these Stoic principles, we can face change with courage, wisdom, and peace. Remember, it's not what happens to us that matters, but how we respond. And in our response, we find our strength.